Hello everybody. Welcome in My Draw Wandering Pig. How you guys doing this morning? Alright. Some reason streaming on YouTube, or I don't know. It's whatever. We got problems. Tell me something new. Oh, that says I'm streaming. Okay. Cool. How you guys doing this morning? Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in. We're gonna do a couple things. I have a fun story about yesterday and Sunday night after my abrupt exit from stream. So, you know, that's what I'm looking for, are stories here. So I got a good one. But I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope everyone was safe through the storms. If you were, the U.S. had some pretty crazy storms all throughout, kind of like the Midwest and the South and everything. So hope everybody's all right. What's going on? Wishing my workday was over so I could start checking out the Monster Hunter Wilds title update that goes live today. It's an April Fool's joke, Oberion. Don't fall for it, man. Don't fall for it. Did you make it to Adepticon? No, I did not go to Adepticon. What's going on? Phoenix. Did you make it to Adepticon? No, I stayed home and painted last week. It was actually my birthday on Friday, and so I had a nice week. Nice week at home and chilling and getting to do some fun things, so I don't mind. Maybe next year I'll go to a convention. Taking today to rest from a dissertation. Okay, nice. Rest days are important. Live in Chicago, so it's a quick trip. Oh, awesome. And thank you, I appreciate it. Was it worth it? How? What kind of stuff did you do? Did you spend a whole bunch of money on a bunch of things that you wouldn't have otherwise spent money on? That's my experience with conventions. But sounds awesome. Sounds like it was a lot of fun, honestly. Anymore, though, I tend to be pretty reclusive. Spend a bunch of money on Steel Rift like I do every year. I'm not familiar with Steel Rift. What is Steel Rift? Tell me about it. I assume it's a mini game. just go to the convention just to spend money on the one game. That's great. Yeah, cool. I have no idea what half the words are you just said, Oberion, but I'm still calling it April Fool's joke. Bomb bowling, is that like I don't know if that's I can't tell if that's part of the game or not. I legitimately have no idea. Thursday, Middle Earth doubles. Oh, solid. What did you take to the Middle Earth doubles? And how have you been liking the new edition of Middle Earth? I have yet to try it because my army is non-existent in the rules right now. So my 1,500 points of Khazad-dûm dwarves are not being acknowledged by GW. So maybe this Sunday they'll announce a pre-order day. Who knows? That sounds a lot like an April Fool's joke, though. I'm trying not to make those. In all honesty, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be completely honest. My least favorite day of the year is April Fool's. I absolutely despise April Fool's. So, we're not going to be doing any of that today. Because I legitimately hate April Fool's Day. So. Yeah. It's a mech combat game in 10 mil scale. Okay. Death Ray Designs, designed by Ash Barker. Ash Barker is Guerrilla Miniature Game, right? Is that Ash Barker? So I can get a game in about 90 minutes. That's solid. All right. Very cool. Corporate culture. Place of the Gold. Try to be cute the week after layovers. Oh no, no! Don't tell me they pretended to lay off more people or just like making light of it. That'd be so bad. Love Middle Earth edition's fine. Actually, like the armies could be jank because no ally. Yeah, you ran large scouts. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you like it. I don't mind some of the rule changes. The army list building is I'm not a huge fan of like everybody gets a legendary legion, but also I think my biggest issue is just the lack of army like Middle Earth book. If they just put that out, I would feel a lot better. And honestly, like the like everybody gets a legendary legion, it's not so bad when you have like the big faction armies, you know, like and the fact that they're adding all the units back in, they tell you what legendary legions they go into. So, and it's just, you know, adding the pretty much same special rules we had in the last edition to a lot of these. What is real in the world on regular days is hard enough. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yep, it's so difficult just to, like, on any given day. It's just frustrating to deal with, like, things that aren't real and people posting nonsense. Misinformation, fake news, as it were. And, yeah, the fact that, like, people are just, yeah, just like leaning into it, like everybody does a video or an article or a thing to do an April Fool's joke, and I just hate it. Saying we would have an AI read our chats and listen to our meetings to see our emotional. Oh, weird. Okay, yeah, no, that's just scary anyway, right, Mitral? Like, as an idea, like you're. Oh my gosh, what? Yeah, we rail against corporate culture every day here on the Painting Dad stream, so if that's what you want to do, by all means, come in and rail against corporate culture. I do have a story, a good story for you. I think it's a good story for you guys. Excuse me. I have like this the trace remnants of this like sinus thing. We try and drink water and stay hydrated and not destroy myself today, I guess. But we're going to continue right on with these minis, and I need my white gold because we were so abruptly cut off from that on Sunday night. You know, one with my manager to have any value, you won't listen in because it's a private tile. Oh man. yeah they're listening anyway. It just April Fools, they admitted that they were listening, right? Hey, Cultured American, what's going on? Yeah, man, I am just waiting to see actual rules for Middle Earth. That's what I'm waiting for. I did Phoenix. My like crowning achievement of Middle Earth was that right after the new edition came out, my local group held a tournament to see off the old edition. So we did like a final tournament for the old edition, and it was like a friendly thing. And I didn't want to paint any minis for it. I was in the middle of painting a bunch of other stuff, so I was like, you know what? And I didn't want to bring my dwarves. I was like, I bring my dwarves to like every event that I do for Middle Earth. So the only other like painted complete force I have is the Fellowship, because a couple years ago I bought the Battle for Balin's Tomb, and I'd never had like a fully painted Fellowship. I had some like the older metal minis and stuff, but from like way back in 2002, but never painted them. So I painted those up a couple years ago for that board game to play with my son. It's a fun little board game, in all honesty. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring the Fellowship to this like 500 point event. And excuse me guys, excuse me. And it was only 500 points, so I couldn't fit the whole fellowship, and I decided to go with the breaking of the fellowship. So I couldn't include Gandalf, but everybody got a free elven cloak, and I still had to skip out on 100 points. So I played a couple test games with my buddy, and he trashed me in every one. So I was like, great, you know, I'm just gonna show up and lose. Like that's fine, you know. I adjusted my list, and I show up to the event with my 5 miniatures, 5 models from my 500 point army. And it was Aragorn, Boromir, Gimli, Legolas, and Sam. And I won my first game without losing a model, without taking a wound, actually, against, oh my goodness, this was against, like, Glorfindel and Elrond. It was, like, mounted elves, like, just a bunch of Rivendell knights. My second game, I played against my buddy in his same list, which was Theoden and, like, the Riders of Rohan. And I trashed him. Again, did not take an actual wound on a mini. I took some wounds and saved him with Fate, but otherwise did not take a wound and I beat him. Played my third game against a guy that used Gullivar and like Angmar, and he had man, it was one of the Easterling, or one of the Nazgul that, like, he did a bunch of crazy stuff to heroes. But played against him, and I beat him without losing a wound on a model. So I played my 3 rounds without suffering a wound on my minis. And most importantly, Sam killed a total of 3 models through the game, or through the tournament. So he actually was like got in there in some of the games and got kills. It was pretty wild. So I ended up winning the tournament with my my Breaking of the Fellowship meme army list that's like never been good. And it was hilarious. Like Sam was the real MVP. Yeah, he protected Legolas. His whole job was to stand next to Legolas, because Legolas got rerolls to hit if he were near a friendly model. So Legolas was just massacring everybody. And then yeah, it was wild. But yeah, I won the tournament. I felt really good about it. It was really cool. My last tournament of that solid edition that we had for the past 6 years, that got me back into like painting minis and you know, the like classic miniature wargaming and stuff. Felt good. But all right, I got a story. Since Zen is here, I can tell you guys my story. All right. So fun times. I was streaming Sunday night, and we were talking about, you know, heavy storms coming, belly full of coffee from my favorite coffee place. Is it BK, dude? That's your favorite coffee place? Did you go to the French restaurant, the Bistro? Is that where you went? Did you go without me? Mickey D's, yeah, favorite coffee, yeah. This classy joint, McDonald's. So streaming Sunday night, I hear from people in town there's tornado sirens going off, and I was like, okay, well, I'm on the other side of town, so, you know, I don't hear anything. We get this like crazy gust of wind. Got delivered. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Okay, very cool, dude. Sounds like a good Tuesday, honestly. Crazy gust of wind. Something hit my window right in front of me while I was streaming, and I was like, okay, like something's obviously going on, and it's a problem. So I was about to get off stream, and I was like, you know, telling everybody like, all right, I'm gonna jump off, bye everybody, the whole thing, and then my power cuts off. I was like, all right, cool. So that was a good timing. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna power came on about like, I don't know, 30 seconds later. I decided to kind of head upstairs, see if Painting Wife is awake, and see what's going on. You know what these loud bangs are. Misfit, what's going on? And as I'm going upstairs, she was already downstairs, like coming to get me. So we're like, wow, there was something crazy. She's like, I heard a very loud, like, crashing sound. And she's like, we should probably go outside and see what that was. And I was like, all right. So, you know, put some shoes and a jacket on. It's barely raining at this point. It rained for all of like 5 minutes, like really heavy. We go outside and we're like, hopefully, we have this one tree that's leaning really bad. We're like, hopefully that tree didn't like fall over onto our house and just like cause all kinds of damage. We look outside and a different tree from our yard had fallen over. It's a tree right next to our driveway. Fortunately, it did not hit my wife's car in the driveway, because that is on one side. On another side is like our actual like garage. It didn't hit the garage. It fell right into the street. I don't know, the upper 2/3 of this tree, this like 40-year-old tree, and fell on a bunch of power lines. Mostly, I think they were like phone lines, like communication lines. But yeah, the tree fell on a bunch of power lines. So we go outside, and our neighbor's already outside. And she said she called 911 or whatever just to tell them and all that. So yeah, we're like, sweet, all right. And as we were going outside, fire truck was pulling up, and none other than my buddy, my good friend, Killacam, who is also a mod in this channel, jumps out because he is Captain Killacam locally. That's what he's known as. The most helpful name for a firefighter to have. But yeah, he gets, so I see him and I'm like, oh, cool. And he's, checking everything out, and he got down power lines and everything. He's calling people and stuff. And so I got to chat with Killacam while our tree collapsed in the street. But so our power didn't go out permanently. Our power wasn't out, which is good. It was our internet that was out. So I had no internet. And fun fact about me is I'm super cheap, and we don't pay for unlimited data from our cell phone provider because that's a scam in my opinion. So we have the most bare minimum, like 1 gigabyte a month, and we've gone over one time in the past like 15 years we've had this plan. So we're like, yeah, we're good, Well, we were almost out of data anyway because our month is refreshing soon. But we're like, dang, we don't have any internet. Like, we can't do whatever. So we had like very little. We were like, 0.85 or something out of a gig. And so I was like, okay, all right. Like, I'll post a thing or two. I'll let people know I'm okay and everything. But we'll see what's going on. And yeah, they blocked off the road. There was a cop that sat all night on our street with his lights on to silver highlights on the red. It's solid stuff. Yeah, I agree. It definitely makes the color scheme in my opinion. Yeah, so he sat with lights flashing all night in that spot to tell people basically they can't drive through our street. I got up in the morning. I'm like, man, I bet people came out and like cleared stuff up. I got in the morning and the cop's still sitting there and there's no one else there. And, tree's still in our yard. I'm like, okay, or in the street. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, just taking their time. Must have been really bad damage. I don't know what's going on around town or whatever. My wife she's leaving for work, and there's a news crew outside, and they're like taking photos and like running a story on the tree in our yard. And they try to interview my wife, and she's like, sorry, I'm going to work. Like, I don't want to talk to you guys right now. So they ended up interviewing my neighbors, which was great. But my both two elderly neighbors, one who was very nice, but I think was diagnosed with dementia, I think, recently. So that might have been a fun conversation. And the other one will never stop talking. And she will just go on and on about her health problems. And like I don't care. I'm sorry. Like, you're barely an acquaintance. I don't care to know about all your weird growths or whatever you have going on. So, wife goes to work. My son's bus stop is blocked. So we were wondering how to get, like, where's the bus gonna go, because the road was just blocked. So we took a guess, and we were right. So I got my son on the bus, and then the bus driver's like, "Yeah, I'm not coming back to there." So we like ran all the way down the street to get him on the bus at pretty much another stop. And I come back and I asked the bus driver, like, "Are you coming around for this other, like in the normal stop?" She's like, "Nope." She's like, "I was told to do this stop." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." So I ran back and told all the parents waiting at the bus stop, at the normal bus stop, like, "Sorry, she's going. You guys got to take your kids into school." They're like, "Oh yeah, okay, that sucks. They should have told us, blah blah blah." This one lady just starts freaking out about it, like going full Karen about it. As she's like in her car, like, just put your kids in your car, and she's wearing pajamas, like, just take them to school. I don't know why it's such a, but she's like getting all mad and everything about it. I think she ended up just like keeping her kids home from school yesterday. I don't know. I don't understand people, and it's embarrassing because she's about my age, and I just hope I never act like that. But yeah, it was fun. Whole fun time. Still no workers. Apparently that police officer, she didn't have her morning coffee. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that lady is always, man. If there is someone in my neighborhood that I look at that I'm like, this person acts entitled, it's that lady. She does all, and I only ever see her at the bus stop, but man, she does like everything she can just to look like not a well-adjusted person, is what I'll say. But yeah, so I was talking to the police officer in front of my house, and he's like, "Yeah, I've called AEP 5 times since I've been here since 6:30, and they're not." He's like, "They haven't answered." Okay, sweet. So we'll see whenever this happens. Internet's still down. I had a lot of work I wanted to do. A lot of it required internet, but whatever. It's cool. Got done what I could get done. I got a lot of airbrushing done. I'll show you guys in a little bit some of the airbrushing I got done. I'm really excited. But excuse me. So what a day. And it was early afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I have to go work out. I'm gonna go work out. So, I go over to the gym, which is really close to me, and you have to sign in with it's like a key fob kind of thing to get into the gym. It's like a local, like, community gym. And I get in there, and as soon as I walk in, the power goes out at the gym. And I was like, well, sorry everybody, I just brought, the power outage with me, but I'm going to go ahead and lift anyway, because none of the machines I have require electricity. I do one set on my first machine, and an employee comes up and says they're not allowed to have people in the gym when the power's out, because of the liability. So we had to leave, and I was like, well, can I just wait until the power comes back on? And he's like, no, you gotta go, actually. Like, you have to leave the building. I was like, alright, well, that really sucks. So, like, I can't even, like, go to the gym. Well, I drive home. And again, the gym's really close to me. Drive home, my garage door won't open because, lo and behold, the power's out at my house, too. Because we're on, like, the same grid as our gym. And I think they cut the power so they could, like, fix the line and everything that had been knocked over and all that. So, sweet, good to hear. My whole day is just like, and I was like, you know what? I had meal prep I had to do. I was like, I didn't do meal prep Sunday, so I'm just gonna do the meal prep now. Oh no, whoops! I don't have electricity. I can't cook anything. I had something to ship out. So I was like, well, I could go to the post office. Nope, I can't print the shipping label because my printer works on Wi-Fi, like over a Wi-Fi network. It's a Brother printer, which is an amazing printer. I don't hold this against the printer at all, but like, I don't have Wi-Fi. I can't connect. The printer won't connect to anything. So I couldn't print a shipping label to go ship anything. Tomfoolery, what's up? Go outside and squat the tree that fell over? Yeah, dude. Oh, man. I did squats on like Friday. I normally do a leg press machine, and I did squats, and it destroyed me all weekend. But I'm going to be doing squats soon again. I'm looking forward to sticking with that because it felt like a good workout, but destroyed me. Yeah, Brother printers are the best. They are definitely the best. So yeah, my whole day was shot. Like I was so frustrated, and my son had soccer practice. Are you supposed to have soccer practice that evening? And I'm a assistant coach on his soccer team. And I had seen earlier. I briefly turned on my data just to like I don't remember where I was. I was checking something with their internet maybe, and I got a bunch of notifications from a messaging app that they use for all the coaches, and all the coaches are asking if the park's open for practices. And there was no definitive answer. I'm like, great. I don't even know if we're having practice. I can't cook dinner. I can't I can't ship anything. I can't go to the gym. I can't like do a lot of the work I have to do, especially with the power out now. So I don't have like lights. I can't run my airbrush and do any more airbrushing that I was going to do today. Like I can't run my 3D printer. All the things are like, apparently I'm just totally dependent on electricity and internet in my life. What's going on, Judge Dave and Ghostu? How you guys doing? So yeah, I just sat down. Oh, thanks, Ghostu. Yeah, still waiting for the power to come back on. Yeah, no. But yeah, so family gets home. Painting son was at a different bus stop, so I went and got him. We got home. We kind of looked at everything. With the whole tree that fell over. They cleared it from the street and they cut it up, but we have to like get it cleared, off our property basically. So that's our responsibility, which sucks. So I have to call a tree service this afternoon, see if I can't get some quotes on removal and probably just completely like tearing down the rest of that tree because it's down or whatever. Free firewood, yeah. So I spoke with one guy from the tree trimming company that came to get it from the street, and he's like, I just want to let you know, he's like, I have my own business where I do like tree removal and stuff, and he's like, I'd be happy to remove this and everything, and I could leave the firewood and all that, blah 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 blah. And he said he'd give me a quote, so I was like, I'll call him and see. We'll call around some places and see. Yeah, just give painting son a little chainsaw. Yeah. A chainsaw is cheaper than the tree removal company, right? Child labor and all. That's apparently acceptable now, child labor, I guess. At least in the state of Florida, it's encouraged. Yeah, so we ended up going out to eat. We got home, our power was on, but the internet wasn't on. It's still like super frustrating. Like, what are they doing? They still had the road blocked. There was still like the communications line was still down, so they hadn't even got to fix the get them working. They hadn't even got to like fixing like the cables or whatever that were all falling down and everything, which is crazy to me. But oh man. Yeah, and they gave us an ETA for our internet to come back up was midnight. I was like, well, I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna assemble some more minis. Horse is coming along. That's awesome, dude. I'm loving it so far. That's exciting. Those Primarchs are fun to paint. There are a ton of effort that goes into them, but man, they are enjoyable. Put down a few trees and you fill up an old crappy 18-wheeler. Really? Okay. Dang. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're cutting down a bunch of trees every couple years, like having like a wood splitter would be really useful. So yeah, I was down here assembling a tank and listening to a podcast I had downloaded, and I hadn't listened to Adeptus Ridiculous in a while, but my YouTube app still downloads it automatically, so I figured I'd just listen to that. And so I listened to that while I assembled a Sakaran tank that I got from my birthday. And about halfway through the assembly, I looked over and I saw my Wi-Fi was on. And yeah, I went ahead and turned on some streams and was watching Crucial Blue's stream. And kind of finished out his stream and then jumped in. I was kind of listening to some YouTube, catching up with things while I finished. Which one? So just the basic Sakaran. I'm going to show it off here in a couple minutes. I have one more dude here to put this this silver, or it's actually white gold highlight on, and then I'm going to show you guys kind of what I did yesterday. Which tank? Sakaran. It's called a Sakaran. This is just the basic Sakaran. I do have a Sakaran Venator, but otherwise I have one fully painted Sakaran, and then I have the one I just assembled. So I'm excited to have two of those because they are so cool. Yeah, it was a wild thing. So we're very fortunate that the tree did not fall on my wife's car, because that was a very real possibility, considering that it was, you know, if the tree just fell the other way or something, if the gust of wind was slightly different, they could have put that tree right in my wife's car or on our garage. And could just like crushed our little garage. So yeah, we're fortunate it was just the street, and you know, and the city did a lot of the cleanup. We just have to get the rest of it out. So busy. Got my taxes done. All right, solid, dude. Solid, just in time, right? Yeah, me too. No property damage. Yeah. It was a very frustrating day yesterday because I had a lot of stuff I was going to do, and I did very little of what I wanted to do just because of circumstances. So again, it could have been worse. Could have been us paying, you know, insurance and car repairs or house repairs or whatever. My neighbor across the street lost like half her shingles on her house. I just looked out there in the morning. I was like, what in the world is going on with her house? Like, it just ripped up like all of her shingles. Maybe she climbed up there in the middle of the night and was just pulling them up because she wanted a new roof. I don't know. I had to buy 2 new car tires. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's really frustrating. Tires are expensive. They're so expensive. Cars are expensive. That's basically what it is. Cars are not an investment. They're an expense through and through. I did survive, yes. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening through my drama. For your Audi? Well, yeah, tires for your Audi are going to be criminal. Yeah. My brother had an Audi, I want to say it was like an A4 or something. It may have been like a 90s model, maybe in early 2000s. I can't remember, but I drove that car a couple times. That car was so much fun to drive. It looked so like, it looked pretty crappy. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it just looks like a normal like sedan. But you drive the thing, and it was a phenomenal car to drive. The finest rubber touches the rims of the Ratmobile? Okay. Alright. Yosu's riding in style. 170 pound, yeah. Yeah, they're about... they run about $200, I think, for a normal tire here, so... It's pretty similar. Pretty much one-to-one. I did prime the texture bases on these guys first thing this stream, so we're going to work on those as well. I did not prime their arms. I didn't get to their arms. I was doing other things. I was like, man, if I got time, I'll get to their arms. And then power went out. And you can't really airbrush when you don't have electricity. Couple reasons for that, but supercharged V6 and all-wheel drive. Oh, that's cool. Pretty quick and it's good daily. Yeah, his was a little 4-cylinder like twin turbo or something. I can't remember, man. It was 20 years ago when he had that car. It was a blast though. I remember he went to his first year of college. He wasn't allowed to have a car on campus, so kept it at home, and I would drive it to like school and stuff. BMW ones. Fun fact: they don't have spares. Okay. That's hilarious. That's crazy they don't have spares. Yeah. You got your mechanic coming to paint. That's exciting. You guys have some great stuff going on. I did hear the next GW reveal show will be on May 22nd. So my guess is that there's, obviously they're going to reveal a bunch of stuff then. There's a whole bunch of things that are supposed to be revealed. I'm going to guess that if there is a new edition of Horus Heresy, it's going to be announced or I think pretty much announced before that stream. Because that's a very small window, like May 22nd to like middle of June to like get something out like that. Yeah, so I think they'll announce something beforehand, and I don't know when. Like, they'll probably tease it and show off a little announcement, and then they'll do the stream. They'll probably talk about the new edition, show off some more stuff, get the minis in detail, like all that stuff. That's what I think they'll do. Hey, Deadshot, what's up? Yeah, the Demented Groot. Yeah, the terrifying, like, fleshy tree monster that he was painting. It looked fleshy to me. It was a crazy looking mini though. For ages now, I've got at least printing blobs. I'll stick to the plate, which is better. Oh no. Yeah, I feel like sometimes 3D printing, it just like it's almost like phases, right? Where like sometimes you have just a ton of issues, and sometimes it works perfect. I have another big like printing phase that's gonna start here this week. I gotta get some things, continue printing things for 12-hour stream and such. Fixing stuff as usual. Yeah. Scored a little doom and gloom after Adepticon. Oh. Yeah, I think it's gonna be something big for Horus Heresy, and I would almost believe that there was some like last minute change up to the announcements for Adepticon, but yeah, I think they wanted to give, they don't want to give too much spotlight to too many things in one announcement. So it seems like the Old World really got all the hype, right? The Old World, and then I guess Space Wolves. Okay, guys, I think we're good. I think we're good here. So we have the white gold highlighted. You don't like the direction of 40K. I'm not a huge fan of the direction of 40K either. Yeah, Judge Dave, I'm the same. I want to see what the rules are like. I want to see the rules. That's the thing that, like, they can release whatever miniature and I can decide to buy it or not if I like it or I don't. That's fine. Like, if I don't like the minis, I won't buy the box. But yeah, if the rules are good, I'm good. Yeah, like I just want interesting rules that give me the good nostalgia and have a good like cinematic feel to it. So okay, let me show you guys some of the minis I have here. I'm gonna zoom out a bit because big tanks. So Sakaran, put this guy together. There we go. I gave him a pintle-mounted heavy bolter. I wanted to separate it from the other one I have. I did make Sponson las cannons. Bring back 5th. Don't get me started, dude. I do love 5th edition. So I did the Sponson mounted las cannons. I'm not magnetizing this. I'm at the point where I have so many Sponson mounted weapons that like I can just interchange them, and it's fine. Count that I need an old. Yeah. You gotta convince your accountant, dude. No, I agree. So yeah, we got a Sicaran assembled. This is what I assembled last night, waiting for the internet to come back on. And this is my second Sicaran. I love the autocannons on this. It's very like hit or miss, whether it ever does anything. Sometimes it's just every turn it's just blowing something up, and other games it just never does anything. But yeah, I love the Sicarans, but that's what I have. That's what I assembled yesterday. Yesterday with the airbrush, let's see, the first mini I had assembled. This is my other Sicaran. It's a Sicaran Venator, and this has the big neutron laser beam, and it's primed, and it is varnished and ready to paint. So this mini is good to go whenever I'm ready to start painting the next thing. So I'm excited. Big tank destroying laser on it. It looks awesome. I gave it heavy bolter sponsons, which are also primed, but it comes with this heavy bolter on the top. So I was like, it'd be cool just to keep it like all heavy bolters as defensive weapons. Yeah, it'll get shot off in turn 1. Yep, that's how it is. It's fine. Sicarans are reasonably tough. They're armor 13 in the front, which isn't, it's not super heavy armor. Like 14 is the heavy armor, right? But like 4 hull points, and it kind of sits behind. Happens to you on Saturday. Yeah. Well, speaking of getting shot off in turn 1, here's another thing I had assembled and primed. So my very first Vindicator. I have been playing 40k for almost 25 years. I've never owned a Vindicator, so I got one, and I gave it the laser gun because I think this gun just looks so much cooler. I did find an STL to add the big dozer blade on the front of the Deimos pattern Vindicators. So if I ever get one with a Demolisher cannon, that's what I'll do. But laser gun's super cool, and yeah, this is primed and ready to go. Yep, it's a Rhino chassis. Yeah, they put has this big extra armor plate on the side, so there's no door, which is great. But yeah, it uses that same Rhino base as all the other Heresy like Rhino models. Yeah. I don't think I ever got the Vindicator STL from him either. So yeah, I got this one. No sponsons on that. That's all set. I just gave it a bunch of combi bolters on it. And then one last tank. I assembled this guy this weekend and primed him and base coated him already. But big old Land Raider Spartan with the gun. This is a Typhon heavy siege tank. So yeah, it's a big boy. Yeah. So if you compare that to its son here, the Vindicator, it's the size difference between the two. Like, oh man, this tank is so cool. I got a crazy. It comes with a flare shield. It automatically comes with a flare shield. So it's 450 points base. It is an expensive tank. It is the second most expensive model in my Thousand Suns army at this point. Yeah, you'll definitely need it. Yeah, this gun only has like a 24-inch range, but it's an awesome gun. I gave it. I built a heavy bolter sponsons because again, I figured it's got the big gun, and if I pay 10 points, I get this heavy bolter on front. I get 3 heavy bolters. It's 12 shots. Heavy bolter shots should be cool. Yeah, I don't like putting multi-meltas on the top because it seems like the best thing to do, and that just doesn't appeal to me as much, so. I had some Reavers chasing with Thunderhammers and jetpacks. That's hilarious, yeah. Work the office day due to highway being closed to morning traffic. Dang, you're a Raptor. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, man. So one of these tanks I think I'll start on this week, provided I get these other minis done, which these minis are about done. But yeah, I am... I love this mini. This is a great mini. Just the giant cannon on the front. Just lobbing whatever crazy siege shell at the Terminators or the Dreadnoughts to kill them. Great tank. So I got a good motor pool. So 4 tanks to go, basically. 3 of them are ready to paint. And then 1 of them I need to prime and everything. It's sitting level. I'm pretty sure it's sitting level. Yeah. It's a Traitor Legion. Yep. That is 1,000. Those are for my 1,000 Suns. I do have a parking garage at home. Yeah. Yeah, Judge Dave, I do have STLs for Sabres. So Sabres might happen eventually, but I had some. Okay, so this dude, and this dude, I won from that Heresy tournament. So I got these things from the Heresy tournament. So solid prizes, by the way. The other 2 I got as like a birthday gift. My parents still send me money for my birthday, guys. I'm 35 years old, and they're like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I'm like, "Just give me money. I want to buy toys." And that's what they do. So yeah, I used some of that and just some personal money. I was asking my wife, like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Can I go buy a mini? Like, spend more money and get an extra mini?" So that's what I did. Just gonna get a base coat on the bases. That's what we're doing. I run with my Sons of Horus. Just run forward and fire 8 missiles and autocannons and ram the infantry and hopefully blow up. Oh yeah, I mean, I like Sabres a lot. I have, once I paint all this stuff I have to paint, guys, like by the end of April, I'll probably have like 15k points of 1,000 Suns. I still feel like there is so much that I have to collect. And like that I'm just scratching the surface. But yeah, Sabres on the list. I was wanting to do more tanks. It was kind of a goal of mine this year, was to paint more vehicles for my 1,000 Suns. And to like really beef up my my militia army. So the militia army is going to be beefed up plenty this month. 1,000 Suns got their vehicles, so we'll be good. Trying to get 500 points at the account. Yeah. Go, so yours are going to look way better, though. That's the difference. Good armor for World Leaders. You know, the thing about lore Misfit for World Leaders is they love tanks. Like the Heresy era World Leaders, they were all about, like, the biggest guns they could bring and like the heaviest tanks. I mean, they loved Land Raiders and stuff because, you know, the mechanized infantry, but, you know, stuff like Kratos and Sicarans and like the Typhons and Predators, like those are all very like thematically World Eaters. But again, like the thing about the legions in 30k is every legion ran all the stuff. So nothing you choose will be not thematic. Now, I know their rules are very much like infantry and dreadnoughts and like that, and maybe bikes that benefit, but that doesn't mean you can't run tanks or tanks aren't good to run, because tanks definitely are good to run and fun. But yeah, dude, you pick what looks cool and you get it, and it's going to look amazing as a World Eater's vehicle. Good assembly line batch painting mentality. Nice. Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do with them. I'm gonna paint some AdMech eventually. That'll be fun to do. Maybe we'll see what gets announced in the next month or two. Let's see what my timeline is, but don't care about the rules. You don't play. Yeah, yeah. So pick whatever you want and paint it white and blue. It's gonna look awesome. Yeah, because like Angron had like a directive for his legion where he would give them like they had like 24 hours to conquer a planet when they arrived, and if they didn't, he would like decimate the legion basically. Oh, you're painting them red. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. I mean, you could do that too. So I imagine the World Eaters themselves didn't particularly care about what they used as long as it would help them achieve that goal of conquering the planet as quick as possible. The project manager sent my manager a message that I'm doing amazing. He wishes I could be cloned. I spent the better part of the week playing League of Legends. I don't know if the world could handle clones of Zendral. What would that do? Castellax with the dark. Yeah, the Darkfire cannons are good. They're really good. Yeah, that's really a testament to your coworkers, and that you can spend most of your week playing League of Legends and be do such a good job compared to everybody else that, yeah, your boss is like, we need to clone him. After this first coat of this paint, we're going to do a little on the eyes of the Marines, and then we'll do our second coat, and then we'll see where we go from there. Good process. I did not plan out this day too well. I was like, I'm just going to paint Thousand Suns, and we're not doing April Fool's jokes. I said this earlier, guys. I despise April Fools. It is my most hated day of the year. I'm sorry if your birthday is on April Fool's. It sounds like a miserable existence. Okay. Oh gosh, yeah, no. Yeah, thanks, Gosu. About to be banned. Solar Ox heavy weapons go with the World Eaters instead of rifle sections? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Are you talking about like the Velatari? Like the elite troops that all carry like different weapons? Gosh, guys, every Discord server, every website, every company, every YouTube channel, it's just stupid April Fool's jokes. First of April. So his grandparents didn't show up to the hospital until the day after he was born. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be me. Like, I can't handle April Fools. I don't care if my grandson's born then. E-trolleys that follow you with their app. Oh my gosh. God, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, what's gonna happen when April Fool's falls on a Thursday, and I'm gonna be looking for Heresy Thursday articles, and it's gonna be dumb jokes about real life tactical rocks and all other kind of stupid things. Like, I'm gonna be furious just because they're just wasting my time. It's not TTS. They changed every single terrain piece and playmat. What? To Thomas the Tank. Oh my god. Oh no. That's so annoying, Zen. That's so annoying. I mean, keep your teeth where they are. Okay, all right, Oberion. I'm not threatening to hurt anybody. I'm just tired of the nonsense. Yeah, just stand up on it and like do all your pictures. Like just take selfies on your personal tactical rock. I'm pretty sure one of the one year the April Fool's joke was them showing off Votann as a joke, and then by the end of the year, Votann were released as a full faction. Oh, you're a raptor. It was an April Fool's joke, man. Don't even. It's not a threat. Okay, all right. Space holes are tactical rocks. It's true. Yeah. Yep. They're best for standing on. About the week you got into Warhammer. Oh yeah, you saw those and you're like, man, I need this game. GW listened. They knew. Pure fist make good tactical rocks, yeah. This is very, very stalwart indeed. That's true. Dark Angels have a tactical rock. Not anymore, right? Didn't Vashtor steal it all? Wasn't that the whole thing? It's like the Rick and Morty episode, right? With the heisting. He just heisted the planet from him. Acting like a pizza delivery guy or whatever. I feel like the orcs travel to other planets on strategic rocks, probably not tactical rocks. That's a big maneuver. Dark Angels are homeless. It's funny. Advertise a Tauntaun sleeping bag with lightsaber zipper pull and testing graphics interior. Oh, I bet Utini. Yeah, I remember when ThinkGeek was great. I haven't heard about that website in years, but that was such a cool like a cool store. And then what was GameStop bought them. It went to garbage. Yeah, GameStop ruined it. Tale as old as time, yeah. That's true. Man, yeah, ThinkGeek was great, though. I seriously haven't thought about them in years. Yeah, and I remember GameStop bought them, and it was like within a week, like it just did it. That whole like site did like a tailspin. You get a haircut. Enjoy a haircut, man. So you're looking nice and fresh. Guys, what tank should I paint first? Should I paint the Vindicator? Should I paint the Typhon? Or should I paint the Sicaran? That's the real question. The Tri-Laser one? Yeah, okay, the Vindicator. Little guy. Hey, Forsaken Captain, how you doing? Welcome in today. It's going pretty well today. Yeah, much better than yesterday. So, here painting. I basically finished up the heavy weapons troops without the arms, but their arms are on the list to paint. Yeah. So we're just doing that, I guess. Painting they got their texture bases here. Put some paint up, and then I think we're gonna work on a tank while we're painting these bases. So need to dry, but yeah, we painted these guys here. So they need to be varnished. They need to be glued onto their bases, and then we'll do a little bit of weathering on them after that. But and obviously painting their arms that all magnetize onto these minis. But otherwise, that's, squad of 10. Hard parts done on them. So you guys want me to paint this one first. Actually, it's a quad laser. It's not a tri-laser. This guy. Yep. Shame. I don't even know what this gun's called, honestly. But it's cool. Pretty short range, but it's alright. Yeah, I think a lot of silver here, silver treads, silver wheels, silver. I'm gonna mix some black and white details on it. Pretty cool. A lot of this top piece is like one big plate that you just cover like the Rhino body with, because you essentially build a Rhino without the front end, and then you put that piece on. So it's very cool. All right, so it'll be there. Then I think we can start with some of our colors. Once we get to the point to where we have to wait for these for any decent length of time, then we'll jump into the Venator. How about that? All right, we're getting dark turquoise. Lancer, I mentioned for my friend's newsletter. Oh, cool. All right, very cool. Is it like published and everything, or is it you still waiting for it to come out? We have our hobby league started, our Heresy Hobby League. DMs. Okay, yeah, sure. Careful, I think the khaki is still a little wet in some areas. Alright, there's one. This one. We'll just reverse everything on this one. Okay, we'll get this big piece here. Hey, Yoshi, what's going on? Hope you're having a great Tuesday. We're not talking about April Fool's jokes, but yes, I think everybody here agreed that they would buy one if it were real. Honestly, I saw the article and I didn't even bother opening it. Late to the party. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, just a little bit. So it has a little more here. It's a nice shade of blue. Yeah, thank you. It's a Pro Acryl Dark Turquoise, which yeah is definitely a fantastic color. It's almost a 1-to-1 with GW Aramon Blue. I used to use Aramon Blue on these bases, which I thought was very appropriate given the fact that it's Thousand Suns bases. But this color only takes one coat to cover. So it's less expensive. So why not? other one it is. This one. It's a 66-pound rock. That's pretty funny. How many minis you build in a week? It depends on the week, honestly. I can build hundreds of minis in a week, or just like nothing. But I built 4 tanks in the past week, just as like an aside, like personal things to do. So. See, that's all right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Excuse me. Switch paint brands for that very reason. Yeah. Yep. Better coverage equals less work. Yeah. One of the things I really like about Procro, there's a lot of good, like highly pigmented paints. It's a bit, yeah, I build minis pretty fast. I build and paint pretty fast overall, but. Hey, Hobby ADHD, how you doing, man? Everything is going well. Yeah, it was much better today than yesterday, so. No mistakes on this, on the basing doesn't matter so much right now. You're gonna cover it up with paint or with wash or with dry brushing or with pigment, so it's all good. Painting a Skaven Warlock. Oh, nice. That's a cool mini. I painted one of those a while ago. That like classic plastic Warlock. What color to make his fur? Yeah, white fur is cool, like albino. I know, like, Skaven culture, I'm not sure how it is in AOS, but, like, in Warhammer Fantasy, like, fur color means a lot for Skaven, which sounds very Skaven, right? Like, of course, fur color would be a big determining factor into what your life is going to be like. Like, black-furred Skaven tend to be, excuse me, storm vermin, and they grow up to be larger than other Skaven. That's probably because they're like more well fed and taken care of, but they end up being like the bodyguards. So bigger and stronger Skaven. And I think there's a famous group of storm vermin that are actually albino, so they have white fur, and red eyes and everything. Yeah, but I think like an albino Skaven is a very cool idea. Like white fur is very cool for like a Gracier or something, to like mark them as like rare and different. I think that's a really neat idea. Great, officially home, just waiting for the baby. Nice. Nice. That is exciting. I hope you got your fill of painting. Yeah, the white fur is really cool for Skaven. It's a really neat idea. Okay, and then one more with this blue. We'll paint both of these blue. So we want a little more blue. Ivory. Finish your Fire Dragons and Iron Hands. Okay, nice. Nice. Good luck. That is also totally cool, Wandering Picked. No, I think white is a really cool choice, though. Whether it's loreful or not. That's true. Yeah. Whatever wash you put on them and like weathering and stuff can determine a lot of how they look. It's a very good point, Gosu. Yeah, with any kind of those like fur-based like races or whatever, you can really mess with them a lot. Okay. On to Ivory. Alright. Let's get this Ivory. So I'm getting like bombarded with messages here. Let's go. Well, I will tell you guys, we are preparing for a 12-hour stream. 12-hour stream is going to be on April 18th. It's a Friday, and a lot of things we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to paint a whole bunch of minis that day, a whole bunch of tanks. It's going to be a very big tank painting day. But you guys have the opportunity to get me to have my fingernails painted first thing on stream. And all we need to do is to get the Patreon to its goal, which is $100. You can see we're at $67 on that goal, which is awesome. But if you're willing to sign up for $1 or $5 or something and get us closer to that goal, then Patreon will be able to vote on a color to paint my fingernails. You do get more things for being a Patreon member. We're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways that day as well. And Patreon members, any giveaway we have, Patreon members get an extra entry. So, we're going to be giving away paint sets and paint brushes and merch and stuff like that. So, a lot of things we're giving away, but it's just a way to support the channel. I get a lot more percentage wise out of that than like a sub on Twitch. So if that's something you were thinking about doing and you were interested, I would greatly appreciate it. Help me get to that goal. Yeah, we're gonna have the family on stream. It'll be a really fun time. It's gonna be a crazy day of streaming. I'm gonna have my wife is gonna stream with me for a little bit. My son is gonna stream with me for a little bit. Zendral is gonna come over and stream with me for a little bit. Yep, I got you. I got you, dude. I have not forgotten. Yeah, so we're gonna be painting tanks. You're gonna have chances to name vehicles, to put your names on minis, to change the lights and try to mess with me. If you want to change the colors of the lights. Now, I'm not colorblind, so it's not going to be like Crucial Blue stream this Friday where he's doing a colorblind stream. Oh, my bad. There we go. Thank you for that. But you'll have the chance to mess with the lighting and everything if you want to. If you want to make everything look blue or whatever. It's something we'll be doing. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, his colorblind stream. Yeah, and he's like covering labels on paint bottles and everything. Like he's really making it so he has no idea what he's painting. That's gonna be really funny. It'll be a good time. But yeah, we're just the big thing we're working toward now is the Patreon goal. And yeah, if we can hit that goal, the sooner we do it, the more time you guys have to vote for a color that my fingernails are going to be painted. And I'm going to sit here. It's going to take up some time the first thing in the morning, and painting wife is going to paint my fingernails, and they're going to stay like that for as long as they do. So I go coach my son's soccer practice and my fingernails are still painted, then so be it. I'm not usually one to do such things, so be definitely out of my comfort zone. Whatever, I'm embarrassing myself for the sake of content, right? Oh, bless. What? White Skaven are considered to be more intelligent, better leaders, more likely to have sword. Oh, wow, okay, Wandering Pick. So that works out perfect. You paint a Warlock or a Great Seer, or a Grey Seer. Then, I mean, a Grey Seer has like gray fur, right? That's kind of their thing. But yeah, with the white fur works perfect. This Warhammer book I want is out of print. What Warhammer book do you want? Is it just to collect or whatever, or is it to read? Like specific reading in it? If it's just to read, I bet we can find a way to read it. Vaults of Terra. Okay, I'm not familiar. Vaults of Terra sounds like a 40k book or a 30k book. Yeah, collector's pricing. Yeah, that's too bad. I'd sooner read fantasy. That's fair. Yeah. Rise of the Dead is my favorite Warhammer novel. I have read that book maybe half a dozen times. Out of anything the Black Library has put out, Rise of the Dead is the best. I did, man, you know, talk about nerdy. I did a book report on Riders of the Dead in high school. I remember that. We had to do like PowerPoint, like a slideshow about the book and everything. So yeah, I did that with Riders of the Dead. My turbo nerdiness coming out. You like Space Wolf novels? I'm so sorry. It's a guilty pleasure, yeah. Alfarius, Head of Hydra. Oh, that's cool. I read that one. Yeah, at least it's not Ultramarines. That's fair. I can't think of an Ultramarines 40k novel I've read. I've read a couple of their Heresy novels, like some of the Calth stuff, which was pretty cool. There was one I read as a Heresy. I can't remember which one it was. It was about the Wordbearer's ship. They had the huge ship and they were bringing it toward, I want to say it was toward Calth, and they were like going to run it into the planet or whatever and blow it up. And there's an Ultramarines captain that figured it out and decided to board the ship. And he had a whole bunch of like different legions with him, like all these like random squads and Marines from different legions, including there was a whole squad of World Eaters Despoilers with like boarding shields and chain axes, and they were like loyalists, like they didn't know what was going on with this. And so I remember they boarded the ship, and I remember the World Eaters just like running through the hallways, like messing everything up. But it was a good book. I read that entire novel in a night, like overnight. It's good stuff. I've never seen Imperial Fist book. Yeah. Yeah, the mysterious Ultramarines. Yeah, it's hard to find information about them. Wandering Pict. Difficult. Yeah, I've never read an Imperial Fist heresy novel. I've heard they're definitely a mixed bag. Because they're all dead. Yeah. Watson, it was a ride? Okay. Dang. Judge Dave just come out with all the hot takes. Between enjoying Space Wolves and wanting all the Imperial Fist dead. And is just trying to make enemies here. Fan, that's fair. The books are no longer considered canon. Oh, really? That wild, huh? Get your Purple Orcs army on. Nice. Yeah, Judge Day would rather be owing at the moon, right? Yeah, Dan Abnett's, he's like classic, right? Like Dan Abnett writes so many good books. I read a trilogy. It was a Blood Angels trilogy at one time. And it had the most ridiculous storyline. Where basically this like Blood Angels squad was chasing down Fabius Bile. And they were going to all these different planets. Apparently they go to this water planet, or it's continents separated by oceans. And they take an old submarine across the planet, and there's like Tyranids on the planet. It's like this whole crazy story. And the final book is basically Fabius Bile like gets to Baal. He steals like the blood of Sanguinius and makes this giant mutant creature that starts like killing all the Blood Angels on Baal. And it's right after like the Tyranid invasion like almost wipes out the Blood Angels, or something that happens in previous books almost wipes out the Blood Angels. And Dante's like, we need to convene with all the successor chapters have to convene, and he basically asks them to tithe to the parent chapter. Basically, he's like, we're better than you, we're the first ones, we're important, so we need your gene seed. And while they're talking, this monster attacks. Hey Blue, what's going on, man? And so it's like 24 chapter masters locked in a room, and there's a couple of them are like dreadnoughts. Like some of the chapter masters are dreadnoughts, and like there's this, it's crazy. And this one creature just like tears through them, like kills a whole bunch of them, until finally they're able to kill it or whatever, and like Bile gets away as he does. But it's just a weird book. I don't think that trilogy was ever canon. You live, and how's it going? It's going well. Yeah, getting to paint. We got internet, so feeling good. I want to take a nap, but it's all right. All the good things. Yep. Remembered I was taking some pictures of my finished Krieg kill team. Oh, yeah, okay. No, that's fine. You do it when you think about it. It's all good, man. We'll be here. We are the safe haven from April Fools right here. That's what we are. Just happens to be a very boring safe haven, but it is a safe haven. My most hated day of the year. So what I'm going to do is sit on the internet. But this is my controlled environment of the internet, right? So no napping, get that painting done. Yeah, when you're done, you got my Mastodon to do. Dude, I'd love to paint a Mastodon. This sounds crazy. Not before I paint a Thunderhawk, though. Or just a Storm Eagle. Just give me the big one. So we you got a Thunderhawk part painted? Okay, nice, nice. What part is it? No release dates for the NID AdMech. No, they just announced it. So probably in the next like month or two, they'll get out a Sunday announcement or whatever. Yeah, I feel like the GW has a lot to announce, a lot to release. Volcon Metal with a Blackwash. Oh, okay, Iron Warriors. I see. So we went out to dinner last night because we had no electricity. So we're out there. We just went to a pizza place, and we're like, we'll just eat at the pizza place. I haven't eaten at a pizza place in like a decade, but or more probably. So we let my son get a soda. He normally doesn't. Barber was closed. Oh, that sucks, Misfit. Sorry about that. We don't drink like soda in our house much. Like, it's very rare. Like, I'll get it when I go out to eat sometimes, but that's about it. I let him choose soda. He always wants root beer. And I'm always cool with root beer because it's caffeine free. So I'm like, sweet, let's do root beer. The caffeine free option, it's probably best. Well, this place didn't have root beer. I'm like, okay, well, let's just get something fun then. And I got him some orange soda, which is amazing. According to him, he had never had orange soda before. I'm pretty sure he's tried it at some point, but he never had it. So he got orange soda. I'm like, here, yeah, just I'll give you a little bit. Take a sip. If you like it, we'll get more. So I give him a little bit. And he just like guzzles down the whole like amount. He's like, this is amazing. And I was like, okay. So I got him more. And I told him, I was like, it has caffeine in it, so please don't like drink it all before our food's here. You know, you got your cup, and that's what you get. And he's like, okay. So we're waiting on our food. He's like sitting there staring at his cup, and he said, and I quote, he looks at his soda, and I quote, "It is precious to me." I was like, yes. I was like, it's so perfect. He just straight turned it into Gollum, like. Yeah, it was so perfect. Yep, my Fanta. Yeah, it was actually it was Orange Crush, but yeah, my Fanta that works perfect. Okay, I think we're good to put our wash on here. So let's get out some. Yeah, it's good. It is good. So we're gonna just drench these minis. Some Pro Acryl Strong Tone. Because it's cheap. What if there was a company that just sold like giant bottles of wash? Do you guys buy that? Like a 200 milliliter bottle of like Agrax Earthshade? What would that kind of thing be worth to you guys? Like $30-$40? Yeah, yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah. Priceless. Yeah. Rebottle it down to the mixes I like. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, put it in your own bottles. Just reuse the dropper bottles that you use for your normal stuff or whatever. Just a giant 200 ml dropper bottle. Well, spray can. My wife uses to water plants. That sounds really wasteful, though. Like that seems like you would lose a lot. Maybe it's just me, but so washes might be why all my minis come out looking squeaky clean. Yeah. You gotta soak them, dude. It's liquid skill for a reason. The Color Forge spray is amazing. Nice. It's good to hear. I've never used it. I don't use fancy spray paints anymore, unless it's like stuff I've had left over for years. So I am, this evening I do have a game of Horus Heresy. I am testing out, I don't even know if it's testing, just using for the first time, my Malcador Infernus. My big flamethrower tank. It's gonna die horribly and quick. I know that's what's gonna happen, but I don't care. Do not care. Because it's gonna look incredible while doing it. And if I get one shot off with the thing, I'm gonna be happy. Yeah, it's going to get killed in turn 1. My opponent, I'm going to try to castle up. So my opponent is playing World Eaters. And he does have a Leviathan and a Drop Pod. And a Land Raider Spartan. So the Spartan will probably target the Infernus first turn and kill it. But I need a way to kill that Spartan. I didn't take a ton of anti-tank. I'm fully going into it just expecting to lose. And just having a good time. So, that's all. I think if I want to win, because he took a big Death Star, like, Cataphractii Terminator unit in the Spartan. My way to win, I took a Leviathan Dreadnought. My way to win is to get that Leviathan and Dreadnought in combat with the Cataphractii. If that happens, I think I'm good. If that doesn't happen, then that unit's just going to run through my whole army. Yeah, that's kind of the goal. I'm pretty sure when his Leviathan drops into onto the board, I don't think it can charge the turn it drops. So that'll be something that'll help me a lot. Okay, we got Wash on there.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you for the, is that a subscriber there? Yeah, don't forget to intercept. Yep. Yeah, the Leviathan will be a good intercept unit, too. He's got the 2 melta-guns and stuff. But I don't have a lot of, I don't think I took any anti-infantry or anti-tank firepower on infantry. So, excuse me. I took a Warlord trait I've never taken before. That basically means my commander does not get to be a Psyker. But whenever a psychic power gets used next to him, he gets like more powerful in combat. It's called the Eidolon of Suffering. All right, guys, we're waiting for Wash to dry, so we're gonna do this. First, though, I'm gonna take a quick break. Thematic Iron Hands army based on Isstvan 5. Man, I don't know, Hobby ADHD. I would say a lot of like Mark 3 armor and Mark 4 armor, maybe. Maybe not a ton of Mark 6. And no Mark 5, right? Because they wouldn't have that yet.
It's clean. It's cold. And that's what I call
I'll take a drink.
tool.
Alright, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, like, you're just taking the full Legion, right? Because, like, they pretty much brought everybody into the fight. Yeah, that's right, before the break. Yep. Alright, I'll be back in just a minute, guys. All right, we're back. I do have to change something though. We need to edit because a very generous Patreon member adjusted their contribution amount. So thank you very much, your Raptor, jumping up, getting us close to that goal. We need just $28. $28 from the Patreon goal. Guys, we're so close. So close to that. We get that goal, and your Raptor had a suggestion, and I wholeheartedly will be working to fulfill that suggestion. So thank you so much for that, your Raptor. Yeah, we're gonna hit this goal, guys. We got about 2.5 weeks. We're gonna get there. It's gonna happen. I believe. I'm gonna be painting my fingernails, and I'm gonna make sure my nails look all nice and everything. So we're gonna be. It's not gonna be horrendous. I won't be like chewing on my fingernails right before stream or whatever weird people do. 2, 3. We're getting some silver mix going. And I have a mini to paint. I think next week we're gonna do a giveaway. And I'm gonna paint. And I think I'll just tell you guys. I'm gonna paint an Eldar Farseer. I have a plastic one I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint that. I'm gonna give it away. And we're just gonna say everybody who comes and hangs out in the chat. I love doing this the other week when I did this. If you just come and hang out in the stream and I don't know if you mention the giveaway or something, I'll get you an entry, but also any Patreon member gets an entry to it as well. Let's see. I have to look up this tank. Did I miss the rest of the stream? No, I'm right here. Okay, I'm just looking at if I can paint this thing, just getting some ideas on colors here. Silver, the treads. Yeah, okay. Do synthwave colors? That could be cool. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I will consider it. This might be a question for Patreon. I have too much to do today. We're gonna figure it out. Let's do drops. We'll start with a big brush. Bring out the more detailed brushes here in a few minutes. Yeah, we painted that Space Marine captain in a stream and gave him away. That was what we did a couple weeks ago, the Blood Angels captain. And it was a Patreon member that won it. So, the cultured American. No, man, no, don't make me laugh. Those Thousand Suns Automaton are horrible looking. Like, I was somewhat looking forward to like the announcement of those. I was like, man, that'd be cool if they look cool and I can like sub them in for like the Castellax and 30K and stuff. Oh man, those are bad. Those are bad. You loved them? Okay, that's great. If you liked them, good for you. Those had to be the most disappointing thing of the evening. You know what? And that's okay if he's in the minority. There's nothing wrong with liking a mini. Like, people like all kinds of crazy looking minis. Yeah. I did not, though. Yeah, they might look a lot better with better colors, but I think the weird static pose, the fact they don't fit into the aesthetic at all, is a really weird choice. Yeah, I think what they did was they tried really hard not to copy the Heresy minis, and that was their result. And they tried to go like full Egypt with the design, right? Where they look like the statues. They look like Ushabti from Warhammer Fantasy. Now, if Ushabti had actual plastic minis, that would be the strategy, right? Would be to use Tomb King's Ushabti as the Thousand Suns robots, because I think even the metal / resin Ushabti looked better, but they tried way too hard. Yeah, I think I agree. Again, it's cool if you like them. You know, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of designs, and that that Games Workshop comes up with that I don't like anyway. So it's just all personal preference. But you don't go full Egypt, yeah. Never go full Egypt. It makes you think of if you guys remember Rome Total War, the first Rome Total War. And they had Egypt in that game, and they were all like pharaohs and chariots and kopeshes and bronze everything. And what was funny about that is how ahistorical that was to Egypt at the time, because Egypt was like Ptolemaic Egypt, so it was very Greek. It had like Greek rulers, and it was very Greek influenced and everything, and like, Cleopatra herself was a descendant of like Ptolemy and all this stuff, and it was just funny that like Rome 1 was like, we got Egypt, we need Egypt, and they went full like Bronze Age Egypt, when in reality like Romans would visit Egypt as a tourist destination, and they would visit the pyramids of Giza as like a look at these ancient artifacts, which is crazy to think about. That they would do that, and they would write graffiti on the pyramids and stuff too, like so and so was here, Brutus was here, or whatever. Like, yeah, I played a lot of Age of Empires. Rome Total War was definitely more my game though. Yeah, Alexander the Great had a huge influence. Yeah, well, when he died, his empire was split into 3, and you had we had Greece, which was it I can't remember the family that ruled Greece. I know it was Ptolemy that ruled like Egypt and like Africa, and then there was the Seleucids, right, that ruled the Middle East and everything, and all of them were very heavily influenced by like Alexander and the Macedonians and everything. Just trying to get big picture stuff. We're gonna come back and get details on this silver in a little bit while we're waiting for washes to dry. Yeah, Testicles was here. Dude, they would do all kinds of stuff like that though. Like, as funny as that joke is, it's like they would totally make jokes like that. Batman, what's going on? Welcome in. Once again, hope you're doing well. Hope you weren't up too late last night fighting crime. Beating up poor people instead of using your vast wealth to help whole communities at once. I really like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. I'm not like a huge comic book person, you know. I like fun comic book movies or whatever, but Christopher Nolan Batman movies are really good. The one thing that really messes with me though is in the third one, was it Dark Knight Rises maybe? Uh, how Bane just shows up and robs like the stock market and steals all of Bruce Wayne's money, and then Bruce Wayne is poor. Like, yeah, I know, crazy hot take. I like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, right? But it's just funny that it's like they just like let Bane keep the money instead of just being like instead of just being like no, this is digital currency. Like you can't just take everything and keep it. Like that's not how a digital currency works. You know, he's like riding out with a motorcycle with I don't know, bags full of floppy drives or something. Like he's actually stealing the money. Yeah, that was my biggest problem. Was like, you know, again, like Batman using all his money to fight poor people instead of actually helping people. Yeah, that's a whole other problem. But it was just like all of a sudden he's poor and has no money, and we're just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, because Bane stole his money. And everybody just accepts that's just how it works. Because he got away in a motorcycle. You know, like... Alright. Let's get a smaller brush. Start getting details. Val Kilmer Batman? Yeah, Val Kilmer Batman's good. Yeah, and all of his money was just in a bank account. Like, yeah, like the multi-billionaire is just like, oh no, they hacked my account and withdrew all the money that I own. It's like, that's not how rich people operate. Even Magic the Gathering is getting in on April Fools with that lame stuff. That's annoying. Where's my... That's funny. They're putting card effects into their... Is that like an actual thing in the game? Like the more you play with your cards, the more like worn down they get? I was about to say, you can never go wrong with the Batman nipples in the costume. That's true. That's true. They're cardboard. Oh my gosh. So that would definitely be a choice if they made the cards actually wear out. I can imagine spending their whole like graphics and art department just like figuring out how to make cards wear out every time you use them instead of going into like actual game development. Cardboard and sleeves to stop from wearing out. Yeah. Makes sense. I've done that with all the cards in the games I play. Batman fight Mr. Freeze. Yeah. Danny DeVito is the perfect Penguin, though. George Clooney was the best Batman. Definitely, dude. You know, in all seriousness, I wanted to like the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, but I couldn't tell what was going on in the movie. Aside from a couple things that I thought was like too far fetched to make any sense, but like everything was so dark in the movie, I couldn't tell what was going on. He did have the Bat credit card. That's right. Yep. That's no different. Like that's no worse than the Adam West, like the shark repellent bat spray and stuff like that. Like that's very on brand for Batman. It's like me having a Painting Dad PayPal account, right? Like I don't want my real name on it, so. Batman movie was okay. Didn't have much of a speaking role. Yeah. Some Blood Bowl Alpha Strike. Yeah, Alpha Strike. Yeah. Play damage as Cardboard Patina. Alright. That's fair. I sleeve my cards for games when I know I'm going to use them a bunch. So I don't trust other people to not spill drinks on them and stuff. Yeah, some of the things in the Batman movie, like the newest one, I just was like shaking my head. Like, I know Batman's super tough and everything, right? But he's also just a dude. And when he flies for the first time and he hits his face on a bridge, like face first flies into a bridge and tumbles down into the pavement and then just gets up like nothing happened to him. Like, oh man, that really dazed me. I was like, what? Dude was flying at 80 miles per hour and hit his face on a bridge. Or like the grenade that exploded next to his jaw and did nothing to him. Give him the Kapow bubble. Yeah, like this, the classic. Yeah, some of the stuff that happens in that Robert Pattinson movie made the Adam West Batman look more believable. Yeah, watch the whole Batman movie. I'm like, I can't tell what's going on. And then he smacks his face into a bridge. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, is it better I can't tell what's going on, or is it worse? Because this is what this movie actually is. I don't really care for it. Getting too crazy about the silver here because it is, you know, underneath and on the inside of the tank. So the amount of times someone's going to look at detail in these parts of the tank.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your...
Hey, thank you so much. Subscribe or a follow. For some reason, I'm not getting my chat notifications, but welcome in. Feel free to say hi if you're just joining, but happy to have you here. We're just painting stuff. That's all we're doing. Painting stuff and not saying April Fool's jokes because they're annoying. Okay. Next part of this. Some more silver on these other pieces here. Dad jokes only. I am really bad at dad jokes, apparently. Until I'm around my son, then I'll just say them nonstop. I live for the eye rolls that I get. It's a metallic red. It is actually not a metallic red. This is a metal. It's a metal color with a red clear paint over it, and then some varnishes to make it more paintable. Yeah, that is what I have. It's yeah, exclamation point red. There you go. There's the recipe. Mirasaki, welcome in. Glad to have you here. These are from my Heresy Thousand Sons, so this is my a Vindicator I have. Nice finish. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot more work to be done on this. The red is very like matte right now. It's going to get a little bit more of a glossy finish, more satin finish by the end of it. I do have a lot of my Thousand Sons on my Instagram. If you're curious to see what a more finished vehicle looks like, or the finished red, it's just like exclamation point Instagram if you want to check that out. But no obligation to follow or anything. Just if you're interested in seeing a finished result. Nice when the two-hand weapons come together nice enough, the friction hold in place. Oh yeah, Utini, yeah, that's the dream. It rarely happens. What are you assembling right now? And Mirasaki, what are you in the hobby? What kind of stuff do you paint, if you are? Oh, the Scout Kill Team. Okay, nice. Nice. Orcs and Death Guard. Very cool. Hey, if you have any pictures that you want to show off, by all means let me know. If you got a link to it, or if you want to jump in the Discord and check it out. I love seeing people's minis that they work on, whether they're in progress or finished or what. It's all good to me. I think we're about ready to jump back onto these bases we were working on. I think we'll do that before we mix up some new silver. Do people play Custodians in 30k? Yes, but Custodies are considered to be a bit broken in 30k. And it kind of depends on how you play them. So min-maxing with Custodies is just taking like 60 Custodian Guard, like just their troop choices. And it's ridiculously overpowered. If you're taking like lots of different units, like even their dreadnoughts aren't quite as powerful as just like the basic Custodies. But if you're taking different units and mixing it up, it's not as bad. But it's definitely considered socially polite to tell your opponent that you're playing Custodies, and to maybe allow them to focus a bit on their Custodies killing power. So the Chosen of Mortarion. Okay, that's not a unit, right? Is that like your color scheme, or is that like you're like Death Shroud and you're just you're calling them that, or what is that? Got a lot of silver done. I have to mix up more silver before I continue, so I am going to stop that right now. I'm going to get some dry brushes on these bases, and then we'll come back to the Vindicator. It's a unit. Okay, interesting. Oh, Chosen. Duh, Chosen. Okay, I got it. Do Death Guard get Chosen as a unit? I thought they had their own things. I don't know though. Just weathering left to do. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, those are nice and dry. Let's see. All the little nooks and crannies dry. Great. All right, let's get some bright ivory and do some dry brushing. Oh, okay. Oh, it's like Heroes. Cool. All right. Nice. Those minis are wild looking. Very cool, dude. I need a little dry brush paper towel here. Alright, there's one. Cool looking. Yeah, if you got pictures, or you feel like posting pictures as you make some progress or something, I would love to see how you're painting those. Death Guard are definitely an army that I don't follow super closely, so I'm not crazy familiar with what they got. Just a really simple dry brush over stuff here. I think when that Vindicator's finished, when it's all painted, I'm going to have to rearrange my display shelf again. I just rearranged the display shelf to add my Malcador and Furnace, and apparently that was too much. I take break for lunch and supper. Okay, all right. Have a good one, Utini. Thanks for chilling and chatting with me. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the conversation. Hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. That's all dry too. Okay, I think we did a pretty good job with this. Two more. The war against the ants continues. I've been feeding them poison for the past like 3 or 4 days now. Join Discord. Posted my last one. Forget. Oh, cool. Which channel you posted? I'll go take a look here in just a second. Yeah, we could take a look at Murasaki's minis, guys. Oh, in general. Okay, cool. Alright, we got that dry brush. Good stuff. Just a couple more colors on the bases. Let's see. Oh, yeah, great looking mini. Holy cow. Oh, I love the effect in the backpack, like the slime or whatever it is. Great work. The verdigris looks really good. It's like a, oh man. The like tube for that thing is like fleshy. Purple cloth is like a great contrast to everything. Man, great looking mini. Fantastic work. Go through. We're gonna hit a base color on these shell casings here. This is the main reason I got one. Yeah, that's really cool. And I don't know if I've ever seen or noticed that many quite so much. We have a couple people that paint Death Guard, but after a while they all kind of look the same to me. But that's cool. I've never seen the little window thing. You did a great job on it. Shell casings on that one. So I'm going to be playing I was talking about my Heresy game I'm playing tomorrow. I'm bringing my Malcador and Furnace. Otherwise, my list is kind of just a hodgepodge. Like we're only playing 2,000 points, which is not quite like a quote unquote full game for Heresy, because like the standard is 3,000 points for that game. But I wanted to fit the 350 point Malcador in there. And I also didn't want to I knew my opponent was playing World Eaters, and I didn't want to just cheese it against him. So I took Assault Marines, I took Despoilers, I took Keenatai Blades, so I took a bunch of melee units. I didn't take a lot of anti-tank, and he took a big Land Raider Spartan with a Flare Shield, so that might be a problem, but we'll see. I didn't bring my Jet. I bring my Jet a lot, my Xiphon. I don't need to bring that in every game. That thing pays for itself like 3 times over in every single game, though. Yeah, should be a lot of fun, though. I'm gonna get some more weathering powder stuff when I go. I learned the other week that Huge Miniatures, who I am an affiliate with, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, a local local Ohio company. They make the weathering powder. I use their weathering powders on my minis. Yeah, my Jet is a print. It's incredible. Print turned out really well, except for the wings were kind of messed up with the supports. Kind of weird, the pre-support. But they make weathering powders, and I use their weathering powders. I really like them, and I'll mix them with their fixer, especially on vehicles to get in the treads and everything. And I think it looks really good. They make pre-mixed weathering powder with the fixer, and I was at my local store that sells Huge Miniature products a couple weeks ago, and we saw it. I didn't get it, and I kind of figure it might be worth trying out. So I think I might grab some when I'm up there tonight. Try them out on the tanks and stuff that I'm painting, since I'm doing a lot of armor. Might make my life a little easier. I use matte spray varnish. Yeah. So I varnish my minis through an airbrush after I put weathering powder on them. Well, I tried that. And what happens is if you put the weathering powder on them with no fixer, and then you try to spray varnish on them, it just blows all the pigment out. That's what it was doing to me. So I got the fixer, or I use it after the mini. So my infantry, I'll put the powder on them after I varnish them. Because I'm not touching their feet. I'm touching their base and the top of the mini, and I'm not using as much on the tops of the minis. So the vehicles, though, I'll still, use just the powder, but just knowing that my fingers will rub it off eventually. Okay, so a lot of companies that sell weathering pigments, they sell a separate medium. And it's a liquid, and it's a weird grease medium. I'll show you here. I got some here. Let me get my weathering powder out. So okay, I got my weathering powder. It's Huge Miniatures weathering powder sand, and they sell this stuff. It's Pigment Fixer, and it's this liquid, this medium, and there's a couple ways you can use this. You can either put this powder where you want it, and then you cover it with this stuff, and it'll fix it in place. It'll dry it to where the weathering powder doesn't change how it looks, where it looks like dry powder, but it's fixed in place with this. Or you can mix these two together and you make a solution. You paint it over where you want to paint it. The pigment seeps into the recesses, and sometimes it'll kind of sit on top a little bit, but then it'll dry and it'll look just like the powder. What they started selling is a pre-mixed version of these two products. So it's in a big bottle, maybe twice the size of this, and it's already these two items mixed. So you just pull it out of the bottle, you have a consistent mix every time. I'm not sure how dense the mix is, like how much powder there is, like the ratio. But I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna try it. So we'll do it for science. I'll put it on the tanks, put it on the treads, and we'll see if it's a consistent mix that's good enough for. Yeah, it's a liquid. Yeah, so it's very much a thinner liquid, just with some of the pigment already in it. What I've found is if you put too much pigment to fixer, where it becomes like a paste, or even like a thick liquid, way too much pigment, way too much. It ends up just looking like I don't know, like a thick gloopy mess on your Mini. So that's been my experiment that I've done with the fixers. But it's something that's, you know, the pigment isn't necessarily new to me, but messing with the fixers and everything is something I don't do too often. But I also don't paint tanks a whole lot, and that's probably the thing where I'd use it on the most. So the fact that I have 4 tanks to paint here is a good sign, a good reason to test some things. Yeah. And if for some reason you want specifically the Huge Miniatures products, and which is a good company, they make some good stuff. I am an affiliate with them. Is it !huge? It might be !huge. Is their direct link with like my thing. I get a little kickback on it. It's, if you have a store that sells it, just go to your store and buy it. Like me getting the dollar out of your sale isn't worth like you going out of your way to, you know, to pay a bunch of extra money to get the stuff. But you know, if you feel like you know, checking it out and you want to throw me a couple bucks, I guess it doesn't cost you any more money. I think you actually get a discount, right? Do you get a discount? No, I don't think that one gives you a discount. Some of them do, but not that one. And I got was pretty good. Yeah. Fred actually ended up buying me all of their pigments, and I've used a couple of them now for various things. So I have liked what I've used a lot. I don't use pigments a lot, but it's good. It's a good like skill to mess around with and all that. So get the old Forge World pigments, nice. I remember when those came out, like a really big deal. Just chalk powder? Yeah. I think what you'll find in this hobby, and probably a lot of hobbies too, just in general, anything that has a branded purpose, you know, for your hobby is just something else. Like you can always find something cheaper, easier somewhere. It's just yeah, it's just, you know, where you want to look, or, you know, how much effort you're putting in, or you want the consistency with what you're using, because, you know, might be consistent color or consistency, I guess, like opacity or something. You grind up pastels. Yeah, that's crazy. Been using chalk. Yeah, that's insane. That's cool though. Yeah, that's the GW only thing is that's like GW's bread and butter though, right? Like I think we all know people, and we were all that person when we first got in the hobby. Like, if you got into it with GW, you probably spent years buying only GW stuff, because you're like, yeah, of course, you know, they say that the Ultramarines need Macragge blue, so I'm just painting with Macragge blue or whatever. Like, that's just what people do. And I think and it's the same with like the games they play and the miniatures they buy. And as soon as someone like buys, what was that sound? Was that the music? Weird. As soon as someone like buys paint from a different brand, or they try a different miniature game, like, it's all over. People are like, wow, there's other things. It's like something clicks. And that's just what it is. It just happens. You can't show up to the tournament with the wrong color blue. Yeah, your Ultramarines aren't painted with Macragge blue. Yeah, but people are like that. And again, there's also like the whole one-stop shop kind of attitude, or, I don't have to worry about color matching because, these are the colors that GW says, so give me the Procro, yeah. Yeah. Procro makes some good paint. In my opinion, the best miniature paint out there. Where can I buy miniatures? Because I only know GW. If you're being serious, is that? Oh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Tunessen. Are you in the U.S.? Most of the time, you'll have a local game store around you, or websites, and a lot of times those local game stores, or particular like web stores, they'll actually sell it at a discount. My understanding is that's becoming a little more infrequent because GW charges retailers more for product anymore, but there are places where you can get discounts compared to buying direct from GW. And also, if it's a store locally, like an independent retailer, you're also supporting a local business too, which I feel like is very important. We all need to be doing that a little more, I think. Helping the little guy, right? Praise be to Procro. No. I mean, they are making a mid-tone silver now. So, I haven't seen reviews for those colors or anything yet, but I'll be getting them. Whenever they show up at stores, I'll get them. You can only buy them from our web store online. Yeah, they're doing a lot of online only stuff. Yeah, they're getting more and more into that. We had talked about this before, about Games Workshop's strategy of monopolizing independent retailers. And it's a very interesting strategy that I feel like there's like no other company in the world that can really do this like GW does. And what they're doing, it's so like diabolical and like corporate evil. But what they're doing is Games. If you guys have noticed the past like 3-4 years, Games Workshop is releasing a ton of new product in big boxes for plastic miniatures. They re-release the Old World, and every army is getting like 8 different boxes of miniatures that they sell in stores. The Horus Heresy has all this stuff. 40K's line is ever expanding. Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, like all these games take up shelf space. Not the FOMO boxes, just in general, just general product. Every one of those boxes take up space on a shelf, right? So what the plan from GW is, and of course, this is something they would never admit to it. What they're doing is, and I think we can all see this, where if you had gone to your local game store 10-15 years ago, there's all these little knick-knack games, all these little random things that they'd put on a shelf, and that would sit on the shelf for years or whatever. Probably wouldn't sell, maybe would sell a little bit. Games Workshop stuff sells. In general, it's like Magic the Gathering and Games Workshop. Like, those are the things that pay the bills for stores. And Games Workshop requires retailers to stock stuff for every game. They have particular limits for games, but you have to stock things for every games to be a seller of Games Workshop products. So what they're doing is they release so many things that these retailers are required to buy that it takes up shelf space, that these retailers have to start making decisions on what games are they giving up in order to stock Games Workshop. And it is such a genius and horrible move from Games Workshop to like force competition out of the independent retailers. And now they're doing like the Walmart thing, right? They're starting to make their products more expensive for retailers to prevent retailers from selling at a discount, which they're getting more money in that way, and then it also makes it more tempting to buy direct from GW, which is getting them more money in other ways. I know for a fact that there are requirements for stores to stock certain things. They have to stock so much of like all the products, and it might not be a lot. It might be like, you need to hold the starter set or something, but they are required to hold or to purchase from all the different games. I remember that was a big deal with Middle Earth for a long time, because Middle Earth hasn't sold very well for a very long time, but stores still stock it because they're required to. They're required to keep something from Middle Earth in stock. So a lot of stores they'll have like just the intro set, and they'll just keep it shoved in a corner, out of sight or whatever. And if someone happens to buy it, great. I guess we need to order another one and keep it. But otherwise, like, it's, yeah. You don't think your local has Middle Earth? Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe there's something going on with your local, but I do know they do a lot of things like that. And I can't like speak to like a lot of anecdotal experiences or whatever. I just know that, yeah, 3D printing scared them, but Games Workshop isn't slowing down, right? Like, their business has been doing very well, even amidst like all the 3D printing craziness. So, I'm sure it'll be hurt by 3D printing, but their business is also growing, so they're doing well. Have shelf space to carry their products. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that crazy? Like, Ghost Hawks, yeah. Their own stores can't carry all their product because they don't have the space, but they're still releasing more and more stuff. It's about knocking out the independent retailers, right? It's about claiming the space that way, because they don't even have to pay for a storefront if a retailer's doing it, right? It's easy. They can monopolize a store by just throwing everything at the window or at the wall or whatever, at the shelf, and just taking all the space over. Yeah, the volume is a thing. And Games Workshop minis are nice. For the most part, not the Thousand Suns robot, but otherwise they're pretty nice. I like assembling plastic minis. I like working with plastic a lot more than working with printed resin. That said, I print a ton of minis. I work with printed minis a lot, but there's always something nice about assembling a plastic miniature. Even if GW can't get instructions right. Get this other one. Yeah, plastic's great. Zen, have you started assembling your minis yet? You started assembling the Age of Darkness box yet? Robot slander? Absolutely. Yeah. No, oh dang. You should, dude. You should. I had to go in for a meeting, dang. Well, we'll be doing Hangout, Patreon Hangout on Wednesday. So that's a time to get some things going. Do you 3D print tanks? I do 3D print tanks, yeah. Yep. This one is plastic, but yeah, I've 3D printed quite a few tanks before. And various vehicles. I 3D printed a bunch of proxies. Also Maverick, welcome in. Or Merrick, sorry, Merrick, welcome in. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream this month. On the 18th. Whole bunch of crazy stuff. If you want to get more info, check out the Discord, and I'm going to be... I want to get like the full info dump about it in Discord. But I 3D printed a bunch of proxies for 30k militia. And yeah, I have 10 tanks that I'm going to be painting in 12 hours. That's the goal. And 10 of those tanks, and then more tanks that Zendral convinced me to try to paint in that time as well. So it'll be late for me. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. We can try to find a day where we can change it up sometime, Wandering Pick, so you can join us. I can't find a time that's good for everybody. That's never gonna happen, and I have to work around like a real life schedule a little bit, so it's, I can't do like lots of different times. And Wednesdays have tended to work out pretty well, but before I go sleep at some point, that's fair. Tennyson, Cults 3D is probably the best STL website out there. Can't cater to all our needs. I know, it is unacceptable. I understand. Not good enough. What do we got? Let's see what else. That thing, yeah, we'll get this. Tisk, tisk, tisk. That's me. That's me. Yep. Aim. Oh, is that, oh man, the Princess Bride at the wedding? The old lady, boo! Boo! Or the dream when they announce that they're getting married or whatever. That lady's voice, like, sticks with me. I love, man, that movie's so funny. But just the random, like, side characters in that are the funniest thing. Last thing I printed was a Warhound printer. You printed a printer? Thingiverse and My Mini Factory, yeah. Those are both good. Yeah, I like Cults just for the sheer, like, variety of things. And I use My Mini Factory quite a bit. I think Thingiverse is probably better for filament printers, though, right? I remember, like, using Thingiverse when I was just starting. It was like everything just seemed like it was for filament printers. Like the Bamboo Lab might be a good place for that. Oh, Warhound Titan. Okay. I was gonna say, are we 3D printing printers at this point? Is that where we are in technology? Because if that's the case, you get crazy really quick. Somebody might ask me to print a Telemon. It's gonna take forever, probably. Yeah. I had a bunch more tanks to print. I think that's it for the silver on this guy. I think that's it. Yeah, little knickknacks being painted silver. We're gonna get some coal. No, I need some satin black for the bases here, the base rims. Bet for my 14K print. Oh dang, yeah, 25 for one. Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, it's all our own 3D printers. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Loot Studio, yeah. I am a total scrub when it comes to my FEPs. Yeah, I buy the whole vat. I tried to replace my FEP once and did something wrong, and it leaked resin resin came out of like under the FEP, like all this stuff happened, and I was like, never again. I'm gonna pay the extra $10 and just get two vats instead of like the 3 FEP papers or whatever, and not break my printer. War Table Gaming? Oh man. Well, let's not link like straight up recasting sites. We can do that in like DMs or something if people want recasts. Please and thank you. I don't think I think you misspelled gaming also. I don't think that website works. Guys, don't click that link. Cultured Americans trying to give us all viruses. Think it would work. Why are you doing it then? I'm already liking this Vindicator though. I'm surprised you guys picked that one over the other crazy tanks, but oh good. Not offended. Yeah. I mean, we are a link-friendly stream. Because I have not been burned very hard by people sharing links, because you guys are super cool and are among the best the internet has to offer, honestly. But yeah, I've heard the horror stories, and you know, if people abuse it, then yeah. Just time him out for 5 minutes. It's fine. He's looking for the punishment. Or at least delete his post with the link. Permaban. Alright. To admit this, I'm only now learning how to properly thin my paints after years of working with raw paint. Yeah, that's fair. It took me a long time to start thinning my paints as well. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and everybody kind of, like, we all figure out stuff at different rates anyway, so. 9 eliminators can cost $150. I want to support my hobby companies and play, but come on. Yeah, that's a lot. You know, that's a thing, like, eliminators are cool, but yeah, you either buy them over time or, you know, you find another way, or you accept that, you know, it's a hobby and hobbies are expensive, and you know, that's just, it's the value of the hobby is what you think it is, right? If you think it's worth it to pay $150 for your 9 eliminators, then by all means, and if not, then that's also your choice. So okay, Judge Dave. All right. I think, Judge Dave, you will be quite disappointed in the demographic of this stream. I do call this geriatric Twitch for a reason. It's all the old people. Not that old people can't be attractive, but I don't think you're gonna find what you're looking for here. 45 this month. All right, there we go. You're part of us, one of us. I just turned 35 last Friday, so here comes the back of my days. Yeah, yep. No, it's the age comparison time. That's what's gonna happen. You know, as someone says their age, and we just try to find who the oldest one in chat is. So if you're older than Judge Dave, speak up now or forever hold your peace. I know we got someone who's older than 60 here. We got someone who's over 60. There's not 38 people hanging out and not one person over. I know my demographic. You turned 41. All right. Turning 30 in August. Nice. Okay, so Spill Paint Pot, this guy, he's the oldest one by a couple months. Where's all the retirees? And when I turned 30, that was a wild year. So, yeah, my birthday was in March of 2020, my 30th birthday. And for my wife's 30th birthday, she's a couple years older than me. I planned a big birthday party for her. I surprised her with like all of her friends and family and stuff, and went out to eat and had like a really fun time. All these different things. Well, she did the same for me, and she was kind of like talking to me. Like I knew she was gonna like do a party for me. I'm not very social, so I'm not big on like parties anyway. I was like, yeah, it's fun, 30th birthday party. We're gonna meet at a game store and play some board games with friends and stuff like that. Well, then like COVID happened, and everything basically just like shut down. And so like we're like, yeah, cool, 30th birthday party, like we'll make it up. And then like everything just continued for a while. And then yeah, being social, yeah, ooh, definitely. And then later that year, let's see what happened. Oh yeah, cleaning gutters. I fell off a ladder. Well, my ladder gave out on me at 2 stories up. I hit my head. I go for an MRI. I was fine. Got stitches, but found out my my appendix was inflamed, and they're like, yeah, just a matter of time. And I was like, cool, all right. And like 3 weeks later, felt like someone was trying to rip my my abdomen out of my body, and I had to go get that replaced. Had fun complications for that. Ended up in the hospital for a couple days. That was cool. Yeah, 30. Also got laid off from my job, so great stuff. Oh, Merrick, 2 months to 46. So I think Merrick might be the oldest one in stream right now. Yeah, 30 was not a good year for me. One more on this black color. Hey, Tuvon, what's going on? Had the same thing. It was like appendicitis or whatever, cultured American or what? You're 39, you'll be living your 40th year. That's true. Yeah. I'm almost there. Day off, very nice. Day off and it took you this long to get in the stream, dude? Come on. I'm just kidding. I hope you're having a great day. That is some serious sleeping in. I'm all about it. I don't think I can sleep in that long. Frankie Fingers, 46 this month. Okay, all right. So Frankie Fingers is the oldest by a hair here, by a very gray hair. The oldest one in stream. $42 in September, nice. Everybody's, yeah, okay. I guess compared to the rest of Twitch, this is the geriatric stream, but you think you're the youngest? Oh no, don't tell me. If you're under 18, don't tell me. I just just leave it be. Frankie was born in 77. Dang. All right. Yeah, it's the aging millennials. Yeah. Guys, take your leave. Take your baby aspirin. Stretch. It's all important stuff. Most of the chat is actual data. Yeah, it is. It is. Don't you forget it. All right. These bases. We have one more thing. Yeah. Okay. Cool. One more little thing. Ant, get out of here. Yeah, your back's locking up. Be careful out there, guys. I don't even know what that means, cultured Americans, so... Yeah, 12-hour stream. I will have my son on stream. He'll be streaming with me for a little bit. Not the whole time, definitely, but he'll want to chill with me. What's back pain? My back pain is doing well. I made it a point to start lifting weights this year. It's been going really well. Feeling good. Like, overall, I am feeling better than I have felt in years. Yeah, Jim's been helping you too, Judge Dave. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, some of us are old. Yeah, yep. LARP and the manager was asking at the opening meeting when everyone started going. Your girlfriend shot you. They were 5. Oh no. Old in age and in spirit. Yeah. My pain's getting better thanks to regular appointments to a sports masseur. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the wife and I got a gym membership at the start of this year. We have a... our little town has like a community gym. That's really nice. And we got really cheap membership there, so... we did that and we've been going, so... The leg press is your favorite? Yeah, I do a leg press. I was doing squats and I switched to the leg press just because the machine is never taken. So I was doing that for a while, and last Friday I did squats with less weight than the leg press. I was like, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to try actual squats. It destroyed me. Absolutely destroyed me. I think I'm going to keep doing the squats. It's probably a lot better for me. Leg press 60k. Oh, nice. Nice. Front desk folks start recognizing me. My social anxiety. Oh no, that's not good. Stop going because they recognized you. The only negative experience I had at that gym was an older guy there, an old baby boomer there that was kept talking to me and making comments about young people on their phones while he's taking up a machine that I'm waiting on. Free weights use more muscle in the machine. That's true. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man. This guy was there, and I don't use a lot of, like, my workouts are pretty simple still. Still kind of a newbie. I'm just gonna take advantage of being a newbie and get used to everything. But I finished all my machines. When I got there, this guy was on this machine. It was the row machine or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll do the other things first. And so I'm going through. I'm doing all my other machines. And I come over and he's still on that machine, but he's talking with some lady. I'm like, surely this guy has to be like done, and he's just sitting here chatting, right? Like it's got to be it. So I go over and I politely ask like how many sets he has left to do, and he's like, oh, I have 2 more sets. I was like, okay, what has this guy been doing the past 30 minutes? What is this? But anyway, I go over and I'm like stretching and everything, and the lady ends up going soon after that. And so he's doing a set. He's talking to me while he's doing his set, and he's like, I don't, I hate to talk to people at the gym. He's like, I'm here for a reason. That reason's to work out, and I like to get in and out, and I like to, do this, and it's, I do this as my job because I'm retired, and all this stuff. And then he's like, what I really can't stand is, these kids come in here on their phones, and they just sit on their phones on the machines, and they take up the machines, so I can't get on the machines, and I'm waiting for them. And I was like, dude, like, I'm just sitting there stretching, and I'm just like not even responding to it. He's just going on and on. I'm like, whatever, man. Like, you're sitting here taking on the machine for 45 minutes, like talking to some lady. Like, I know you're flirting with the old retiree ladies, but chill, dude. So I'm waiting for him. I'm stretching, like, whatever. I'm just gonna try to take up time. Eventually, I get on my phone, and I'm just waiting because I got nothing else to do. So I'm like, well, I'll just send some text or whatever. And immediately I get my phone out, and he's like, oh, there's another one on his phone again. Like, there you go. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what? You're talking about me being on my phone as I'm waiting for you to finish. Oh, man. Yeah, I like, he says he doesn't want to talk to people in there. I literally don't want to talk to anybody at the gym. It is the absolute last thing I want to do, is to hear someone else's voice or to have to talk to somebody. I don't want to take up any more of my day being there than I have to. I want to put in my headphones, I want to finish my workouts and leave. I think that's it. Yeah, absolute entitlement, yeah. Crazy to me. Get off the machine. Yeah, I know. I do not like. Yeah, I'm not one to like speak up a lot when it comes to confrontation. Very non-confrontational person in general. I've had my moments, but right, exactly. Yeah. Apparently he had to do 47 sets on the row machine, so I just had to wait for that. Next color on this bad boy, we can do some, let's get some dark neutral gray. There's a dark neutral gray with these little pipes and stuff. You're nearly dead? Yeah. The future is now, old man. Get off the machines. I live by philosophy that, I respect everybody. I treat them with respect, and, I give people the benefit of the doubt. And I can probably name on, I don't know, count on one hand. It's probably like 3 or 4 people in my life that I have zero respect for, that I have interacted with. There are plenty of people that I know of that I have zero respect for, but, yeah, and that takes a lot. Like to go to, I have people that do sets of multiple machines. Yeah, no, I wouldn't deal with that. No. If there's not like something at the machine to show me that they're using it, I will sit down and take that machine. And I stay at the machine until I'm done. Like I'm not about getting up or whatever. Low tolerance for people wasting your time, that's fair. Yeah. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Oh no. It's very hard for me to just lose all respect for someone, but it has happened. Yeah, this red's not getting scratched. Don't worry, Judge Dave. This red is so sturdy as it is, and on top of that, it's varnished. Like it's not going anywhere. I could throw this mini against the wall, and the plastic will break before this red scratches. Okay, like there's no other tube. This is a fairly simple mini once you get past like the details on top. That's fine. I don't care if I got silver on the gun shield. It's fine. Oh, right here. That's supposed to be silver. Or this thing. That's alright. We can paint this different colors too. Yeah, there's a little bit there. That's fine. It'll be highlighted and weathered and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna put deliberate scratches on it though. That's the key. Should I... Let's see. These can be white. What are those in our light bronze? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Baryon. Alright. Yeah, I don't associate with people that waste my time like that. I have stopped associating with a lot of people the past few years. It's amazing. It's a you problem, not a Dave problem. Yeah. Okay, that's the only part of that we can see, so let's be done with that. I think yeah, we can get white out. I need to figure out how I'm gonna do some of these blast shields. Where'd you get the red paint from? So this red paint, if you type in !red, you get a basic explanation on my original red recipe. I've since changed it. Instead of the Tamiya transparent red, which is super toxic, I use AK Interactive Clear Red. Otherwise, things are about the same. The only thing you need to keep in mind with the clear red is it reactivates the AK red. And what you have to do is you have to coat it with gloss varnish. Airbrush is the best way to do that, gloss varnish. And then I always put a matte varnish back over it so I can paint it, because it's really hard to paint over a gloss varnish. See, I was going to paint white and I got black paint out, so we're going to paint black instead. So here's my dilemma. I need to figure out some colors here. I think the tips on these barrels, like all these like raised ridges, are going to be white, because my gun casings are typically white and these are basically las cannons, so white is what those are going to be. I need to paint this gun shield right here, and I might paint all of this silver. That might be silver, and then this piece maybe black or white. I want to paint this big front panel of the gun shield, these two big panels right here, either black or white. And then I want to paint in some of these like middle sections black or white. And I'm thinking, here's my thought. I'm thinking white on these parts, black and black here, and then white on the tip of the gun. That's my thought. And so I have black out. I need to put silver on here real quick though. So I gotta paint this silver. I can't do red on that. Big piece. I'm glad I still have silver paint. I knew I was gonna need it for something. Yeah, the red is a little complicated, but man, does it look good. Yeah, if Judge Dave, if you do plan on using the red and you're going to use the, especially the AK stuff, message me on Discord first, because I have a lot of bits of advice and things I've learned from using it, because it is not it's not like using a normal acrylic. It's got some weird properties about it. But yeah, just send me a message and I'll happily give you the lowdown on everything. Yeah, the Tamiya makes like a spray paint, which I have seen people use and they really like. I have not used the actual spray, so I can't comment on if that particular paint is any good or not. I do know it's still a clear red, so you're still going to be working with like weird thin coats, and you're just going to want to be careful with that. But yeah, people use it, seems to work out great. Maybe I need to try that stuff, the Tamiya stuff. I can use it outside and I'll use it on my tanks, so I'm not using a whole bottle of clear red on a tank. This gives us an opportunity to check, make sure we got two. Here's the kit, seemed much nicer than the old kits we have. Yeah. Oh, the Spartan tank is gorgeous. Yeah, I love the Land Raider Spartan. It's massive. It is a chunky tank. I have sitting next to me, primed and base coated, a Typhon Siege tank, which is basically a Vindicator, but on a Spartan chassis, so it has bigger weapons. And it's on, like a giant Land Raider body. And it's so cool. I'm excited to paint it. Excited to paint it, excited to use it. Whenever I get around. Okay, so that's silver. Mechanicum tanks, they do look awesome. Yeah, Thanatars look great as well. I've used some of the Tamiya spray cans. I used their like metallic blue on a commission I had for some 30K Ultramarines, and it was really cool. It's just, using spray paint, so there's all the weird things about using spray paint. These are standing for an executioner. Yeah. Not really as a repulsor. I do like the repulsor mini though. My problem with the Primaris tanks, my biggest problem, I don't quite like how modern they look, or like sleek and new they look, but also I don't like how they all have 100 weapons on them. Like when you put too many weapons on something, it just starts to like feel like a children's toy and not like a combat vehicle. Like it doesn't make any sense where do they keep the ammo for the guns? You know, what do they do about like you have this like missile launcher and like 65 bolt weapons, but you also transport like 12 dudes inside the tank and have a fully turreted weapon with anti-tank gun. It's like at some point you can't carry everything like that. And all Warhammer tanks have that problem, but the Primaris ones just magnify it, I think. I'm not at all saying that Heresy stuff is more realistic. I'm just saying I can only suspend my disbelief so much. There are people that sell tracks. There are STLs that have tracks that you can print for them. Yeah, I don't know about actual like third party, but yeah, I have definitely seen track kits for Primaris vehicles. And wheel kits, so you can make them into like striker looking vehicles too. Bolter mags look like they can hold 6 shots. Yeah, they fire 80 before they reload. Yeah, of course, yeah. Like I understand the suspension of disbelief, and you know, I know what I'm saying. I'm just like, you get to a point where it's just too much. And the Primaris vehicles having a gun coming out of every like angle from the turret alone is a bit too much. Yeah, the difference between like a Bradley though, I can see that with like the Bradley, like it has all the things, but like the Bradley carries the tow, you know, it has the tow missile launcher or whatever, but it's like it carries the 2 rounds and it can't carry anything else. You know, like you don't have any replacement rounds if you're carrying 6 dudes in that thing. Yeah, it still carries a ton of ammo, you know, and everything, but like I don't know, it's very limited in it's like a lot of its like actual gun capacity, like its support capacity when you're transporting troops. That said, Bradleys are still very mean even after they drop off the troops or whatever, or before. Probably the most satisfying footage to watch from the Ukraine war is Bradley's just putting in work. The Solar Aux tanks, just guns with treads on them. Yeah, all the Solar Aux tanks are so cool. So I'm going to be using my Malkador tonight. The Malkador Infernus. It'll be my first time using a Lord of War in any game, actually. I've never used like this caliber of tank. It's gonna die instantly. It's okay though. With this black, I'm going to try to get some white on this mini, and then we might call it. That's 130. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. If I can get a coat of white down. Normally when I paint tanks, I try to wear a glove, which I will do after I put a wash on this thing and start doing highlights, because I don't want to rub paint off. And I'm honestly not concerned about that with this red. Like, it's on here so well. My greasy fingers are not gonna rub the paint off. Okay, front gun, I think that's looking good so far. We got these front like blast plate. I think that's it for the black. So let's get some bright neutral gray. I'm about out, and I do have a replacement bottle. Cool. Just get a little bit. So we got gun casings, the front of this, and then all these little I don't know, inner hull plates. I don't know what you call these. We'll also need to put a little bit of gold on this mini. We don't have to put a lot of gold on it, but I want to find something to paint gold. Help it fit. No, Thousand Suns like their gold. In a whip photo for Skaven, then my phone died. Oh no! Oh, sorry, man. Well, I'll keep an eye out for it whenever you're able to send it. I'll be ready. I'd love to see what you got. This is my first me. I think I've combined the like black and white secondary colors. So this will be a good test to see if it really works out. Oh no, I can't record. Is my my hard drive full? What in the world? I just got a 4 terabyte hard drive like a couple months ago. There's no way. No way it's full already. Dang. Okay. Really putting stripes on the robes. All right. Oh, I might have to check that out. That's wild. I thought it took me like a year or two to get the last one filled, but I just stream a lot anymore, guys. Stripes on the robes. This has got nice big like blank spots on the sides. It's gonna be great for transfers. I'm going to find some good transfers for this one. I might need to get some more transfers. Not keen on transfers? Yeah, that's fair. I really like using transfers. Once I learned about MarkFit and like Microsol and Microset, I feel like a transfer master at this point. Okay, I got those 4 parts. I would rather print, yeah. I print shoulders for my infantry and stuff. Yeah, because it's easier than putting transfers on the shoulders, but I get that. But stuff like big flat panels on tanks and everything, and all the little extras that you can do with transfers. Yeah, printing the transfers, yeah, it's solid. My printer cannot print transfers because it is a black and white only. I guess I could print black transfers. That only helps me so much. Even color printers can't print? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure the capabilities of like home printed transfers, so brace myself, so I gotta be careful here. Okay, we get this kind of collar piece here. Okay, and then we have white casing on the weapons, and then that'll be a coat of white. And I think I might get there after one coat here. We'll do a second coat either tonight on my own, or you know, tomorrow first thing we'll do that second coat. Continue on, try to get our base colors done, get our wash on. It's a white, yeah, $5,000 printer to make, yeah, to do good transfers. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, see, I would have never known that. I'd never bothered to look into it or to try. That is very interesting information.
Look at me!
Oh, what you got? Where'd you post? Where am I looking? Uploading the waves. Cool. Cool. Give me just a second. Serious rabbit hole trying to make my own. Turn into a small side business. Oh, cool. All right, Star Laser. It's good to know. Yeah, funny how that works, huh? Colors on this guy. Go look at your mini. All right, let's take a look at the mini. What you got? This is your warlock, right? Stripes on sleeve and wispy tail. Oh yeah, you are doing stripes. Okay. I assume. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what angle the stripes would be. Go with printers more. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, because if you're gonna have the stripes, it's determining like what direction the stripes need to follow. And I can't think of how that would work if that robe is all one piece. A real key, huh? Yeah. Why can't my brain can't like comprehend? How that's supposed to work. Well, I'm gonna think about that. If I figure something out, I'll let you know. But that's definitely something to think about, guys. Tomorrow, I like that the black and white combo. I think is really good on here. Yeah, have a good one, Frankie Fingers. Yeah, have a good one.
First of all, let me take just a moment
Merrick,
to
thank you for the
allowing
follow.
me
I
back into
appreciate
your
that.
home.
We're gonna raid out. We're gonna find someone to raid. Say hi. Let's see, Glorious Badger. Face to face, retired 11B. Let's see.
Me.
Okay. Ooh, painting Bretonia. Oh, okay, this is good. All right, we're gonna raid Ren Temple. And we're gonna go say hi to Ren Temple. She's painting Bretonia. This seems incredible. So guys, let's go say hi. Let's just say hey, give them a follow. Let's show a good community here and help out a fellow streamer. But you guys have a wonderful day. I'll be on tomorrow. Thank you again for coming to hang out. Thank you especially to the Patreon members, guys. $28 from our goal. Just $28. It's so close. I'm gonna paint my fingernails. We're gonna do this before the 12-hour stream is gonna happen. So again, guys, thank you. Find my socials. I got a whole bunch of stuff: Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads. Yeah, we got the Discord. So you can find me around in places, putting pictures of me somewhere. But you guys have a wonderful day. Dref Builder, thanks for coming in, and I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.